Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
You could be driving
smooth handling and smart interior styling. Just two reasons why the all-new Honda CR-V was once again named a Car and Driver's 10 Best Trucks and SUV list. Come see your new CR-V today at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda on Segan Lane.
Hi, gang. Clarence Bugs here, inviting you to come by Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, where we tape the show live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 11 o'clock. Come by and feast on news, sports, current events, love of God and country, and lots of common sense, along with some of the best barbecue anywhere on the planet. 10655 Coursey Boulevard, Old School Barbecue, home of the Clarence Bugs Show.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Hello and welcome as we start the Thursday edition of the Clarence Bugs Show. Here's hoping that your 4th of July holiday weekend was an absolutely fabulous one. If not, well, as we are fond of saying, good Lord willing, you'll still be here when the next one comes our way, and you'll have the opportunity to indulge yourself all over again. We start today's show with Louisiana news, and I guess if I had to summarize this story, it would probably be Houston, Baton Rouge, we got a problem, y'all. Recently, the East Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's Office partnered with the Livingston Parish Sheriff's Office to arrest two individuals. Another is still being sought for operating a clandestine fentanyl lab. 44-year-old Howard Golphin arrested for possession with intent to distribute fentanyl and marijuana, as well as a charge of operating a clandestine fentanyl lab. Golphin, a convict, did I mention, was out on bond for prior drug charges and was wearing, wait for it, an ankle monitor when he was arrested. In total, law enforcement seized drugs and weapons that included 6.1 pounds of fentanyl, 1,200 fentanyl pills, thank you, sir, 3.5 grams of cocaine, and 7 pounds of marijuana. Mr. Golphin, alleged ringleader of this clandestine lab, was already out on a $400,000 bond due to an arrest in February where law enforcement seized over 4 pounds of marijuana, 200 grams of heroin, and has previous arrests for drugs dating back to 1999. Now, you don't have to be the brightest bulb in the chandelier to see that something is seriously amiss here, y'all. This guy, out on a $400,000 bond for drug charges, wearing an ankle monitor, and running a clandestine fentanyl lab. You can't make this stuff up, y'all. But those in government will tell you, Karine Jean-Pierre, fentanyl is at historic low levels in America. And these are the folks leading our country. I will leave to you to decide how you feel about this. In other Louisiana news, something that is becoming a troubling trend. And you know, I cannot count the number of times I've commented on self-inflicted wounds. There are many things in life that are totally and completely beyond our control. Try as we may, there's nothing we can do to prevent this. Well, leaving your firearms in an unlocked vehicle is not one of those things. Police in Baker last week informing us that firearms were stolen from a truck rather, that was unlocked sitting in a driveway in Baker, Louisiana. And law enforcement says what happens is they go and steal a weapon, knowing, wow, I can use this weapon to commit a bunch of crimes, and they can't trace the weapon back to me because, after all, the weapon is stolen. We're seeing it more and more and more. Now listen, y'all know me. You know I am as conservative as the day is long. But when you have individuals that are this irresponsible with their firearms, they need to face the long arm of the law as well. I want every single American to enjoy the right to possess a firearm to protect themselves and their families. But like so many other things in this country, there's a responsibility that comes along with this. Our rights and freedoms, y'all, were bought and paid for. Blood, sweat, and tears, and lives. And as a result, there's a responsibility that comes along with having these rights and these freedoms. And one of them is making sure that you don't go off and leave your firearms in an unlocked vehicle. And the fact of the matter is, I love Baker. The mayor and I there are really good friends. I know a lot of great people in Baker. But the fact of the matter is, crime has been escalating there. And if you don't get ahead of this, it's just a matter of time, y'all, before it will overrun you. Just a word of wisdom to my friends in Baker. Finally, this one, y'all hear me out before you get upset with me, okay? I saw a case this past weekend that just left me scratching my head. Now, I'm going to say up front, and y'all going to call me sexist, but that's okay. It ain't the first time you call me a name, probably won't be the last time, so I don't have a problem with it. A young lady is driving on the interstate, traveling from Florida, suffers a flat tire. She apparently panicked, didn't go back to just the basic driver's ed 001, not 101, 001. Pulls her car over on the left shoulder of the interstate. The flat tire, mind you, is on the right side of the car. A gentleman pulls up, offers to help. I would expect a guy, someone who's experienced in changing tires, the first thing I, and probably you, would have said, ma'am, we need to get your car over to the opposite shoulder. Because the flat is on the right side of the car. You're on the left-hand shoulder by the fast lane on the interstate. We are going to be partially in the roadway trying to change the tire. You already know the rest of the story, right? Car comes flying down the interstate, hits and kills the female driver of the car, and injures seriously the gentleman who stopped to help. Listen, y'all, I get it. When you're on the interstate, high-speed traffic, something goes wrong with the vehicle, you're in panic mode, you may not use the utmost of common sense when it comes to extracting yourself from that situation. But for God's sake, y'all, on the interstate of all places, get your car as far off the road as possible. Our sincerest condolences go out to the victims in this. But again, this is another of those self-inflicted wounds that could have very, very easily been avoided. Finally, speaking of, 4th of July weekend, self-inflicted wound. Female driver in Central, driving at what law enforcement estimates to be at over 100 miles an hour. Car goes off the roadway, hits a tree. Of course, she's not properly restrained, gets ejected. And if you know anything about the forces of nature, you know the rest of the story. It is estimated by the experts that in a head-on crash at just 30 miles an hour, if you are not properly restrained and you hit the windshield, it is estimated you will hit that windshield at 3,000 pounds of pressure per square inch. Now, I know a lot of hard-headed people, but I don't know any whose heads are that hard. 3,000 pounds of pressure per square inch at just 30 miles an hour. So imagine, if you're not properly restrained, what happens at 50, 60, or in this woman's case, 100 miles an hour. There are a lot of things, y'all, in life that are totally beyond our control. English teachers, forgive me, in 3, 2, 1. This ain't one of them. This is not one of them, y'all. First break of today's show. When we come back, yet another very, very troubling sign that the country that I love is in real trouble. That's next, when we continue the Thursday edition of the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
You could be driving a Honda.
Improved from the front grille to the tailgate and equipped to take you on the adventure of a lifetime, the ride is just different in this new Pilot seat. Come see the all-new 2023 Honda Pilot, now on sale at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda on Siegen Lane.
Few things in life are as valuable as family and peace of mind, especially when it comes to your final arrangements. And that's where Lee Serio can help. His prepaid funeral plans make sure your life will be remembered exactly the way you want it to. With Lee Serio, no detail is too large or too small. Call Lee or his wife Gretchen at 225-315-6329. Let Lee Serio give you and your family the peace of mind you all deserve.
Visit Treads & Care Tire Company's new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for over 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair and top-notch customer service.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hi, I'm Katie, Operation Manager here at Old School Barbecue. We're excited about all of the changes here at Old School, and we'd like to invite everyone to come out and enjoy some delicious barbecue at Old School prices. We feature brisket, chicken, ribs, sausage, and the Boss Hog pulled pork sandwich voted best deal in town. We also have live music Friday and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. 10655 Coursey Boulevard. We can't wait to see you.
Welcome back to the Thursday edition of the Clarence Bug Show. You know, I make no bones about the fact that I have a special affinity for the military, the Army in particular. Nothing against Navy, Air Force, Marines. Nothing against them. Go Army, beat Navy. Be that time before you know it. But because my father, God bless him, my late father, wore the uniform of the United States Army for 27 years. And because of his service, our family got to travel the world, lived at any number of bases. Fort Sill comes to mind in Lawton, Oklahoma, Fort Polk in central Louisiana, and any other number of bases, Kaiserslautern military base in Germany. Because of his military service, I have a particular affinity, not to mention being a baby boomer, watching what transpired in this country during the Vietnam War. I have a more than soft spot in my heart for the military. I also understand, however, the ramifications of a strong military. I'm sure you've heard the saying at some point in life, if you want peace, prepare for war. Meaning, if you are prepared for war, other countries won't dare, won't even entertain the thought of attacking you. Why? Because, well, that country, USA, They've made preparations for war. They're ready. Many of you may not be old enough to remember the last time we had a draft in this country. Thanks to some knowledgeable individuals in the audience today, and Marty, that includes you as well. Usually Marty and knowledgeable don't go in the same sentence, but they do in this case. we tight like that. I can say that about my buddy. He don't care anyway. So there you go. When you look back through time, this year marks the 50th anniversary of the ending of the draft in this country. You still have to sign up for selective service, still have to register in case something happens and we need to mobilize fighting men and women of that age in this country. I don't know how many of you saw this recently, but the Pentagon released a report informing us that by their count, not my count, the Pentagon's count, 77% of our young people of military age, ages 17 to 24, could not qualify for military service. You heard me right. That's more than 3/4 of draft-eligible young Americans could not qualify for military service. Overweight or obese, drug abuse problems, mental and physical health problems would preclude them from serving this country in the military. For someone who grew up around the military, on bases, all around the world, knowing what it takes to serve this country, and hearing what the Pentagon recently came out and said is disturbing, to say the least. Can you imagine what would happen if China, Russia, whomever, got this wild hair up there, you know what, and decided, well, now I think it's a good time to invade America? Can you imagine where we would be? 77% of the pool of young people we have to choose from to fight this country's battles would not qualify. This is an indictment of us as a nation, y'all. It's easy and very convenient to say, oh, them young people, man, they soft these days. Them young people, I just don't know what to say about them. Young people, young people, young people. Well, who raised these young people? Whose children are these young people? And at some point, you have to ask yourself, where does this come from? Now, you don't have to be Einstein to figure this one out, y'all. You don't. Look at the left. Look at Democrats. Look at liberals. Look at the media. And very easily, you see where all of this comes from. We have, in recent memory, watched any number of individuals, well-known individuals, mind you, bad-mouthing America. Racism, systemic racism, misogynism, and all the other isms that they've managed to cultivate over time. But at the end of the day, y'all, if you want peace, you better prepare for war. Well, Clarence, you're just saying that because your father was in the military and you have this special affinity for the Army. No, I've got a special affinity for America. And let's make no bones about the fact that there are a whole lot of folks outside of this country that would love nothing more than to see some invading force come in and take us out. And for all these folks bad-mouthing America, see, Marty, this is where I need to have a podcast so that I can say what I really feel and not have to tamp it down because this is a family show. For all those folks bad-mouthing America, I would be more than happy to hold a fundraiser to buy you a ticket to get on the first thing smoking and get the hell out of here. And I got a whole lot of friends that would contribute to buying your ticket to get you the hell out of here. Is America perfect? Of course not. No place is. But the fact of the matter is, all you have to do is look around. Ask Brittany Griner. She'll tell you. Ask all these folks who, typically as liberals do, have gone to another country, decided, I don't have to follow their laws. I do over here what I do in America, and they've been locked up for God knows how long. Ask all those folks how they feel now about America. But the human experience, being what the human experience is, requires that if you want peace, you better be prepared for war. And when 77% of draft-aged Americans could not qualify to serve, we are no longer prepared for war, y'all. And the fact of the matter is, there will always be the Russias and the Chinas of the world. It's just a part of the human experience. There is always someone that wants more power. There is always someone who doesn't want you and I to enjoy freedoms, rights, and liberties that we do in this country. And there's always someone willing to do what it takes to take this country down. I don't hold that against them. They are who they are. They do what they do. But the country that I love has always made it a point that we will be ready for whatever comes our way. My fellow Americans, I am ashamed and embarrassed to say we are no longer at that point. We're no longer there. In between the obesity epidemic, the drug abuse epidemic, the mental and physical health epidemic, we would be extremely lucky to be able to fight a war on one front. God forbid it's two fronts. I think, if memory serves correct, every branch of the United States military this year, with the exception of the Marine Corps, every single branch will come up woefully short of their recruitment goals. This does not bode well for our country, y'all. It doesn't. Bottom of the hour break. Thank you, Marty. I just thought about it right before you did that. But before we take that break, I got to take a second and remind you guys and girls about one of our absolutely awesome sponsors, Lee Serio. You've probably heard us talk about Lee, and I know how it is with a lot of people. Psychologically, you shut down because it's not comfortable. I get it. I understand. Oh, Clarence getting ready to talk about them prepaid funeral plans, and you shut down. But I'm willing to bet most of you that shut down, it's because you haven't already taken care of what you need to take care of. Listen, y'all. Death is not an easy topic. It's not. I get it. I understand. But you know what's worse than that? Leaving your family and your loved ones in the lurch after you die. It's bad enough that they've lost a loved one. But then to have to turn around and scramble to marshal their resources and the expenses to bury you just adds insult on top of injury. Lee Serio is probably the easiest person on the planet to talk to about this. I cannot make you do this. But at the end of the day, think how much easier it would be to talk to your husband or your wife about your final arrangements when they've already been paid for. And God forbid we get another 4 years of Joe Biden. Can you imagine what prices are going to be? Now is the opportunity. Lock it in at a price that you can afford. Lock it in, and you don't have to worry about that anymore. Yeah, but Clarence, I got life insurance. Well, I'm happy for you. But isn't that designed so that your family can maintain their standard of living? Do you really want them to get your life insurance money and then have to take a big chunk out of that for your funeral expenses? That's a rhetorical question. I already know you don't. This is an opportunity, y'all, to get ahead of the game. This is an opportunity, more important, to give your family the peace of mind that they deserve. They put up with you for all these years. The least you can do is make it easy on them when your time comes. Call my buddy Lee, will you? 225-315-6329. Call Lee today and do your buddy Clarence a favor. Let him know you heard about him right here on the Clarence Bug Show. 225-315-6329. Get the peace of mind. You cannot put a price tag on it. Quick break. We'll get it out of the way. When we come back, buck up, buttercup. Your feelings don't matter. That's next when we continue the Thursday edition of the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Come see the all-new Mazda CX-90, now on sale at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda.
Hi, I'm Katie, Operation Manager here at Old School Barbecue. We're excited about all of the changes here at Old School, and we'd like to invite everyone to come out and enjoy some delicious barbecue at Old School prices. We feature brisket, chicken, ribs, sausage, and the Boss Hog pulled pork sandwich voted best deal in town. We also have live music Friday and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. 10655 Coursey Boulevard. We can't wait to see you.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Caught spiders?
Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back to the Thursday edition of the Clarence Bug Show. If you were with us heading into the last commercial break, you know that I said we're going to call this segment Buck Up, Buttercup. Nobody cares about your feelings. We would do well to go back and figure out when and where and how this emphasis on everybody's feelings came from. It is disheartening to watch the number of Americans that condemn certain things, are against certain things, not because it's illegal, not because it will physically harm someone, but because it hurts my feelings. In a nation of 330 plus million people, you do realize, do you not, it is impossible to legislate laws based on someone's feelings. Because every time you do that, inevitably, there's so many people who have so many different feelings, you're going to hurt somebody else's feelings. Recently, the highest court in the land, United States Supreme Court, issued 2 rulings that have liberals ready to wrap their heads in duct tape. That's so they can keep all the pieces when their heads explode. In the wake recently of Supreme Court rulings, Boston University has informed their students that y'all need to get therapy because of what the Supreme Courts have ruled, or the Supreme Court has ruled. Y'all need therapy. And we have resources here at your disposal that will help your feelings on these court cases. Buck up, Buttercup. We don't care about your feelings. Because for every one of you that has feelings this way, there are that many, if not more, that have feelings this way. It's why we're a nation of laws. We're not a nation of feelings. We're a nation of laws. And the fact of the matter is, at the end of the day, y'all, we don't care how you feel. If it's not a clear violation of law, if it is not clearly going to harm a fellow American, then you need to come to grips with your precious little feelings. We are fastly approaching a point in this country, y'all, where individuals are willing to craft laws based solely on their feelings. Now, if you can't see where this could go, you the problem. There are tons of folks out there now that make these absolutely ludicrous arguments based on their feelings only because they know there's a bunch of other idiots like them out there that care about their feelings. You know, as an American, you have the right to feel any way you want to about any particular issue. It is one of the things that makes this country so great. You have the right to feel however you want to feel about overturning Roe v. Wade. You have the right to feel any way you want to based on the Supreme Court overturning affirmative action. But you do not have the right to craft a law based on your feelings. Here's an example. As long as you've been living, how many things have you seen courts, legislatures, or in this case, Joe Biden, through executive order, deciding that, well, based on how people feel, looking at the American public now, we no longer feel that way. Can you imagine writing laws based on people's feelings? This is one of the stupidest things I've seen in a long time. Your feelings? But unfortunately, these people who want to write laws based on their precious little feelings, these folks apparently never take the time to realize other people don't feel that way. And of course, if you're on the left, then that's when you come out with all the ugly names to call people. That's when you come up with all the hate, division, and things that are tearing our country apart because people don't share your precious little feelings. If we don't get this stuff under control, y'all, we are in a world of trouble in this country. And it's really easy to see when you look at our education system. It's real easy to see. Schools no longer teach our children the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, what it means to be an American. They no longer teach these things. Why? Not because there aren't enough hours in the day, but because they want the end result of people trying to legislate laws based on their precious little feelings. You know, as much as I adore my late parents, I often have to think, what would Sarge and my mom feel about what we have become in this country? If you feel that even though you're born a male, and you feel that you want to be a woman, you're going to try to pass a law, state of Michigan, that will fine me if I don't use the correct pronoun? And you know what's ironic here? These are the same people, y'all, that will preach to you, well, we got to follow the science, COVID-19. We got to follow the science. Well, for how many thousands of years since human beings have been in existence on this planet, we knew that if you have certain chromosomes, well, we know what you are. If you have certain physical features between your legs, well, we know what you are. And it ain't based on your feelings. I have told you on more than one occasion, growing up in a military household, I identified a whole lot more with Martin than I did with Malcolm. Malcolm X was fringe in my household where I grew up. But one thing I will give him, and believe it or not, it was my dear white friend Marty that brought this to me. You know what Malcolm said about white liberals? It is the greatest threat to this country and the greatest threat to the black man in America. I was not a Malcolm fan, but he was spot on with that quote, and you can take that one to the bank, buddy. Final break of today's show. We'll get her done, put that big old pretty bow on this puppy, and we wrap up the Thursday edition of the Clarence Buggs Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close. Few things in life are as valuable as family and peace of mind, especially when it comes to your final arrangements. And that's where Lee Serio can help. His prepaid funeral plans make sure your life will be remembered exactly the way you want it to. With Lee Serio, no detail is too large or too small. Call Lee or his wife Gretchen at 225-315-6329. Let Lee Serio give you and your family the peace of mind you all deserve.
Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
Treads & Care Tire Company announces its new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair with top-notch customer service. Treads & Care offers the convenience of shuttle service and pickup and delivery of your vehicle. You can also enjoy the comfortable customer area, complete with workstations, high-speed internet, and a complimentary coffee bar.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
Treads & Care, the tires you need and the service you want.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Tremont
Tremonti's has meat. Tremonti's has seafood. Tremonti's has much more. Tailgating and home gating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. Daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tremonti's.com.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With private healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Welcome back for the final segment of the Thursday edition of the Clarence Bug Show. I guess if I had to put a moniker on this segment, it would be, these people don't have a clue. / they really think you're stupid. The White House last week came out and announced that the Biden administration is open to spraying stuff in the atmosphere to block out the sun and help with global warming. Wait a minute. If memory serves me correct, aren't these the same people that have been preaching to us solar, 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 to save the planet? So now you're going to block out the sun to cure global warming. How the hell is solar supposed to work when you block out the sun? These people don't have a clue. Or they think you're stupid. That's the first thing. Second thing, you can tell that the people that come up with this kind of stuff, well, that too, slept through class, elementary, middle school, high school, college. Because they obviously don't know what goes up must come down. So whatever this is that they are going to spray in the skies to block out the sun, when it comes down, you realize you're going to breathe that, right? When it comes down, you realize it's going in the water, so all the fish, the crab, the shrimp, lobsters, everything we eat out of the water is going to have this crap in it that's come floating down. It's going to land in the soil and get in all the crops that we eat. What goes up must come down. Not to mention, number 3, and they'll never tell you this, but all it takes is a cursory investigation online, and you can see it as plain as the nose on your face. They've been spraying us for years, y'all. Most of y'all, however, are too busy in your everyday life walking around like this. All you got to do is freaking look up, and you see it. Regular as clockwork. Starts out with a white, thin line coming out the back of an airplane. And you come back 15, 30 minutes later, what was that little bitty thin line has now expanded and covered the whole freaking sky. They have been spraying us for years. But now, all of a sudden, we've come up with this great new way to combat global warming. We're going to block out the sun. This is just stupid on so many levels, y'all. You completely negate your own argument about using solar power because your dumb behind is going to block out the sun. Not to mention the fact that millions of Americans who don't walk around like this, we still look up and go, wow, they're spraying us again. Here's your homework. The next time you see the spraying going on, and all you got to do is look up once, twice, 3, 4 times a week, they're spraying. Go to the Weather Channel and look up the prevailing winds. See what direction they're coming from and what the speed of the wind is. And you can figure out where the next significant weather event is going to be. Not only have they been spraying us religiously for years now, they also know how to manipulate what they're spraying to do what they want it to do. But the White House wants us to believe, by golly, they're fighting on our behalf. I get it. It's the internet. There's enough stuff in here to keep you occupied for the rest of your life. I get it. But you better look up, y'all. You better look up. And the only reason that they are able to get away with this kind of crap is because they know you don't look up anymore. You have no clue what's going around you in the skies above your very head every freaking day. It's called geoengineering. One word, G-E-O engineering. Look it up when you get some time. And you'll find yourself going, oh my God, that crazy little peanut head black dude was right after all. Time's up, y'all, and I gotta go. But you already know the drill, especially this week with Independence Day. You're 100% correct. America, we are not perfect. But for this old boy's money, it's the best there is, and God knows there's no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. You know the good Lord loves you, and you know I do too. You also know there ain't a doggone thing you can do about either one. See you soon. Appreciate you guys.